Hey, welcome back to Melgar Media. I'm back with a brand new episode. Today, we're just going to kick off with some of shows, obviously, that I've been watching. But I'm going to start off with the Jeen-yuhs, the Kanye West trilogy that's on Netflix. Let's see, how can I put this? There is no denying the impact that he's had on hip hop. This show is definitely the epitome of I miss the old Kanye statement. For me, I don't even think that I'll make that statement very much anymore because I actually miss the creative process that he had in his early years, because there's no denying the hunger and drive that he had in his early career when he was just producing and then wanted to become a rapper. He did everything he possibly could, including just going to the studios and playing his stuff for, other big name artists. So in that sense, definitely, kudos to Kanye. The documentary itself is recorded by his childhood friend Cootie, and it's really raw footage. So, it's definitely interesting to see his approach. It is a tad bit artsy. He does some really cool stuff with like audio as it lingers from pans from scene to scene. So I give him props for it's like 20 years in the making. So I give him props for following up and producing it and putting it out there. And because who doesn't want to do something like that with a really with a legend in the hip hop game? But I will say that when it got to a certain point where he gets to explain his Jeen-yuhs, there's literally a moment that the camera is on him and he's in Dominican Republic, I believe, and you're like, all right, he's about to explain his full plan, and it's just absolute gibberish. And you're just kind of like, in the mind of a genius, I guess, I don't know, but self-proclaimed. For me, it kind of ended as like, I feel the same way as I did when I went into it. A lot of respect. Obviously, he's doing something that I wish I could do, but yeah, there was nothing like spectacular in the instance of how he went about it. And, it's just like, if you want to get it, you grind, you go for it. You don't give up until you get there. So a lot of respect, but to me, it's not like, I'm not going to be like reinvigorated to go and listen to Kanye's stuff and buy his product. But, it was cool to see. It wasn't my favorite. I would only give it like a 6.5. The documentary, I give it like an 8. Like I said, Cootie, congrats, man. That's dope for you. The actual message and the product, man, nah. I don't miss the old Kanye. I miss the Kanye's, the way he created his first few albums, the trilogy of the graduation and the college dropout, and I miss that. Moving along, next, a show that a franchise that I've been a fan of. Speaking of another rapper, 50 Cent has created the Power franchise, and I'm a huge fan. I like a lot of that he's done so far. Some of the episodes can be super cheesy. Some of the cast is a little bit off, but a lot of them are on point. And Power Book 4 is a great instance of bringing back a character from the first series, Tommy Egan, played by Joseph Sikora. I just like this guy as an actor as a whole, and the way that he goes about portraying this actor, his savvy, everything about it is just, I like it. Something about it, I like it. And the story is, he leaves the final series, if you don't know anything about Power, he leaves the final series as the best friend of the main character in Power, and he's heading over to California, stops off in Chicago and Chi-Town, and gets into all sorts of wheeling and dealing, and he's trying to take over there. And just worth the watch. Like I said, don't expect like the most amazing, hip hop show that you've ever seen in the world, but it's entertaining. I think that it's The continuity between all of the series so far are really good. So yeah, I give it like a 7, and I'm interested to see how this finishes off. And all the powers 1 through 4, power 2, which is the Book of Ghost, which is Ghost was the main character. It's his son. Power 3 is about one of the characters back in the 80s and 90s, and they're all going to have next season. So this franchise is going to be around for a while. So if you haven't caught up, now would be a good time. A lot of it is on free trials and on Hulu and all sorts of stuff like that. But next, I was watching on Netflix the continuation of the show Vikings. It's actually happens 100 years after the series that was on History Channel. I do enjoy it. Some of the casting is off again. A lot of it has to do with casting for me. It's really hit or miss if you trying to interject your agenda or trying to be all inclusive and stuff like that. This is very historically accurate in the sense of the background. You can make the story dramatized and fictitious. So then for cinematic experiences, I understand that. But if you're just going to go a completely different route and cast someone who doesn't fit the role or the backstory or anything of the sort, it's going to throw it off. And you're going to have this little eyesore, as you're watching it. And I don't want to be nitpicky, especially in some series like this, genres that I like. I watched the whole first season. I believe it'll get a second season. I think that I give it probably like this one again, like a 7, 6.5, 7. And because I really did enjoy the storyline. I think they stuck with the big scenes. They have a little bit of continuity where they go back to cat. And the fight scenes are huge, big, and fun. So I will definitely stay tuned in. And I do have to say they killed off a couple of the miscast characters. So, I am fine with it. It wasn't to the point where I was like, ugh, yuck, woke, hate this. Nah, it was just like, man, I enjoyed the original Viking series because I did stick, and they tell you like some of the characters are not, accurate and this and that. But this one was a little bit overboard, but I enjoyed it still, and I will watch the second episode. And on to the next. If you don't know, Peaky Blinders first episode is out in the UK. You can't see it here in the US yet. It will be out on Netflix here in the US, possibly late April, early May. And then it will finish off with a movie, as the creators have stated. When everything got pushed back during the pandemic, they kind of reconfigured everything and decided instead of 7 seasons, they're just going to do 6 and top it off. And so get excited for that. Don't forget to smash a like on this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. But yeah, I'm excited for Peaky Blinders. I have been a fan since from the jump. So I'm excited to see where this next season goes. And they were talking about how it's going to be a full 20 years between the beginning of Peaky Blinders and full circle till the end. So it'll go from one world war and end with the beginning of the next. Well, that's it for today. I'm just touching on a few because the lady and I are off to see the new Batman this afternoon, which we're excited about. And I'll do kind of a raw little spoiler-free review outside the theater, I think, possibly. And I'll post it tomorrow. And until then, be good to each other. Keep your ears to the ground on like what's going on in the world events. Send out positivity. And I hope that everything turns out well. But to everyone that's watching, much love, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey.